Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, May 1st. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, TLRY, and I'll state the obvious. I don't know what happened. I don't really care what happened because as a trader, I just care what's going on with the volume. And you can see right here, the volume came pouring in. So I'm guessing some sort of announcement or news. And then the price reacted very, very strongly with it. So needless to say, watch this is all about finding those unique, finding interesting situations, not randomly rushing out and buying stuff, but watching it. And I think most traders would say, yeah, when you get volume surges and you get price surges, that is certainly a unique and interesting situation. So something worth certainly keeping an eye on. And in that regard, sorry about that. There we go. Main area of resistance right now is essentially right up here at these highs, and nothing fancy here other than the fact that that's just where the momentum has stopped for now. Now, the market is still open for another 16 minutes. So maybe you're watching this video and you're saying, well, Clay, the price is actually up above here, because by the time you watch this and I get it posted, the market will be closed. But it's really just a question of, how far above that red line is it? The further up above it, that would just be telling you the more powerful of a breakout, and just that would make this chart look that much stronger. So keep that in mind. If you like to play more so pullbacks, then key pullback area, let me change this to green for support. But if it does pull back at all, that 228 mark is interesting. And then if it pulls back even more, you have that area down there at $2.13. So keep an overall eye on those couple levels if you do like to play the pullbacks. But yeah, no doubt about it. Massive volume, huge surge in price. So is this the start of even more momentum to come? Keep an eye on it. Next one, AGBA, rough one here. I mean, when you factor in how it started off, and now you're getting this very ugly pullback here. But for your longer time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. And what I find very interesting about this situation is where this level of support is, right down here. And actually, there we go. So you can see right here, this was an area of resistance, and then it was broken. And a foundational rule in charting states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. And then along with that, you get that green line, which also happens to be very close to that purple line there. So it's basically, and that purple line is the 50-period moving average. So it's essentially like a double whammy of support. Now, there are no guarantees, but would it be shocking? Would it be just like, wow, didn't see that coming for the price to come down here, bottom out, and then get some sort of bounce? No, that wouldn't shock anybody at all. Now, again, no guarantee, so you want to manage that risk. But if you like to play these situations where things are looking pretty ugly, but you think you can find some opportunity in the ugly and structure a good risk versus reward trade plan, keep an eye on it. Next one, SQQQ. Very popular ETF out there, and one that is now approaching a very key level of resistance that you got to think a lot of people have noticed at 1180. And I say that about a lot of people because when lots of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So by no means is 1180 some sort of secret discovery on my part. A lot of people watching that level, so it makes it plausible to think that if the price can come up to that level and then get the breakup through it, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure. So keep an eye on that from the breakout standpoint. And then as far as areas of support are concerned, I think the best way to go about this is just to get a trend line in play here. And again, change that to green. So just keep an eye on that because nothing can go straight up. So if the price does pull back, not the end of the world, because if you think about it, it could come all the way down here. But if it were to start to head back up, well, that low would still be higher than those ones down there. And that's what it's all about from a bullish trend building standpoint. Want to build those higher lows. Next one, MULN. Very nice technical pattern here. So just going to get this drawn into play. And going back to that talking point of self-fulfilling prophecies. So again, you got to think a lot of people are watching something very similar to this pattern right here that I'm drawing. Are they drawing the exact same lines? No, I'm not going to say the exact same lines. Probably that one up there. But regardless, something very similar. So we have those potential self-fulfilling prophecies. Just to make the pattern easier to see, let's keep it one color. So we have our resistance. We have our support. We have the big upwards move right there. To make it even more visual, put the golf hole down here for you golfers. And this would be a bull pennant pattern. So if you like bull pennant patterns, you like those sub $10 stocks, keep an eye on MULN. Going to go through this one very quickly, which is Tesla TSLA, because it's the exact same thing of what I talked about. The biggest difference, really, just the price point. So we have our resistance line right there. We have the support portion right there. And then just because I want to make sure everybody can see it clearly. Oh, that was a terrible line. There we go. We have our resistance. We have our support. We have the explosive move right here. We have the golf hole down here. So another bull pennant pattern. And this is Tesla. Very, very well-known, popular stock, which still doesn't guarantee anything, but it does introduce those very realistic expectations of self-fulfilling prophecies if it can get a break up through the top part of that pattern. So here we have a bull pennant on a much higher stock, or maybe you like to trade options. So you can, definitely incorporate those into this situation also. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering later on in the week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to sign up. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the page you can use to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying it, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. Next one here, ticker symbol CGC. And nothing I can really say about this one. I think it speaks for itself, though. And again, the whole idea of a watch list is to find those unique, to find those interesting situations, and not rush out and randomly buy stuff, but at least watch it. And I mean, like I said, another one of these marijuana stocks, but volume came pouring in. I just laughed because this is literally straight up. Not a single red candle after the volume came in. It has just been going straight up. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot I can, yeah, it's broken to, new highs. Now, as far as supports are concerned, I would definitely say if you like to play pullbacks, then right around 1155 could be an interesting level of support. But besides that, as you can see here, I mean, that thing just shot up, going through all sorts of those areas of resistance. And it's really just a situation of, watching to what happens. So I'm not saying this will, but maybe the price pulls back here a little bit. And if that were to occur, well, then in that situation, you could say, okay, well, there's been a pullback here, and you had this big surge here. All right, so now we have a bull flag pattern to work with. But again, not saying that's what's going to occur. But at the end of the day, it's got the ingredients that all of us traders care about or should care about, namely good price movement and very high volume. Next one, ticker symbol GMM, and I like this quite a bit, but just based on the fact of the opening 30 minutes, gap up, price was all the way up here, and then a nasty pullback. And in this situation, it becomes very valid to ask the question, is this a gap and trap? Is this the beginning of the end? And we got our answer, and no, it wasn't. The price not only stopped going down, but it actually started to put in a slight little uptrend. Now, I wish I could say that for sure, guaranteed, that trading was as easy as just finding these, and then if they go sideways, that means that the pullback's over and it's about to curl back upwards. Not quite that easy. My point here is it becomes a lot more rational now to think that. So keep an eye on that trend line right there as the main area of support. And then in terms of resistance levels, and if this thing's going to maybe make another push back to those highs, keep an eye right there around the $1.57 mark. But overall, interesting setup. Big move up, nasty pullback, now slowly trending back upwards. So is this its second breath? Is this getting ready to make another push? We'll see what happens on Wednesday. Next one here, ticker symbol SOFI. Did this one yesterday, and the downtrend and blood continues. Going to go ahead and get rid of that level. And then just from a resistance standpoint, I'm going to go ahead and just extend this line out, and we'll continue to use that level. I think it'll come into play and potentially still serve a purpose, within the next couple of days. So just keep an eye on that from the resistance standpoint. Now, to give some credits due from where it was at its lows here, there's been a decent little bounce. I mean, still a lot of work that needs to be done. But on that note, too, even with that bounce, we now have an upside down pennant pattern. So if I put the golf hole up here, so this would be a bear pennant pattern. Now, just because something's bullish does not mean the price is going to go up. Same as here. Just because it's a bearish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to break to the downside. But with that sort of action, shock anybody? I don't think it would shock anybody at all. If it does come back down, then key area of support, nothing fancy here. Just a question of where did the bleeding finally stop today? And that was down there at that $6.60 mark from that opening 30 minutes. So overall, definitely looking pretty rough. Next one here, AKLI. Should have put this one at a different location, but think back to the nice move up and then the pullback and now getting some sideways movement. So same general idea here. You have some sideways movement after a strong start, which puts the key level of resistance right down, the key level of support right down here around 0.368 in terms of the support. And then in the more, at least in my opinion, interesting dynamic or the pattern, and I don't know, maybe some people would disagree with that trend line, but I think that trend line right there serves a good little purpose, especially if there's a high volume break of that level. I think that it's got a very good chance to at least go up there and test the do battle with these highs again. Now, does it break up through those highs? Your guess is as good as mine and that token. And again, it still doesn't mean that it'll for sure go up there. But like I said, first requirement is it's got to break that red line. Second requirement, it's got to be a high volume break. But if it can do that, then yeah, maybe just maybe this thing can get a good solid surge of momentum, because overall the context is still bullish even with the pullback. Next one here, TQQQ, and very, very rough final 30 minutes as I speak. And like I said, that's why I like to do these when the market's open. Check this thing out. Not only a big red candle, but continues to get bigger and bigger. So definitely updates need to be done. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level. It's served its purpose for now. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and delete that level out there because the price isn't really anywhere close to there. And from a resistance standpoint, as far as I'm concerned now, just to keep this as straightforward as possible, just watch that purple line right there, 50 period moving average, which is actually pretty far away from where the price is right now. But this one is very volatile. So, I mean, it's not unreasonable to think that the price could curl back upwards and maybe that purple line comes into play sometime over the next couple of days. But if it does, that'll definitely be primary resistance number one to keep an eye on. In terms of areas of support, if this pullback continues, main level to keep an eye on at this point is going to be right down here around this level around $52.15. And then after that, I mean, potentially it's a question. Oh, can't even see me. My ugly mug's in the way. There we go. If that level right there can't hold, then at that point, I mean, coming down and revisiting those lows, in my opinion at least, becomes a very realistic possibility. But we also don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, because to be fair, not only has the price not fallen below there, it hasn't even been tested. But yeah, no doubt about it, rough day on this one, and definitely a very rough final 30 minutes. Now, I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here, then go get signed up for that free class. It'll be very soon, Thursday, May 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So go get signed up, and I'll see you there. Now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. We are now looking at the 4-hour time frame. So instead of each of these representing 30 minutes, each one represents 4 hours. And that is because Bitcoin is open 24/7. So I want this analysis to be relevant for as long as possible. And yes, as I speak right now, Bitcoin, I mean, you can see right here, is doing, I mean, absolutely terrible. There's really no need to beat around the bush. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of these levels as they serve no purpose now, given they're so far away. So really the big question that you're going to have to ask, and so let's just say, for example, like you're watching this video 15, 20 hours from now, where is the price at relative to 59,600? Now, right now it's below it, but the question really becomes, I mean, how far down below, let me just make sure, is this, okay, there we go. How far down below is it? I mean, has it gotten even further than this? I mean, it's already really, really bad right now. There's no doubt about it. But, I mean, if it's, down below 58, 57, I mean, that would just be telling you that really nothing has changed from the time that I'm doing this video right now. The bears are definitely in full control and gaining that much more control right now as I speak. Now, maybe you're saying, wait a second, Clay, I'm watching this video, 15, 20 hours from now, 15, 20 hours from now, if I could speak, and the price is actually back above 59,600. That's a good sign. If nothing else, even if it's, let's just say it's right here, somewhere right around here, that would at least imply that this downwards breakdown has, for the time being, at least stopped and gotten some sideways movement. And sideways movement suggests that maybe, just maybe, the bearishness is done. Now, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, I'm watching this and the price up above 61,300, that would be a very good sign, because that would at least imply that not only has the selling pressure stopped and not only has it bounced, but it's actually gotten a very solid bounce. Now, I'd be kind of shocked if you're answering the question of the price above 61,300, but that's really the status of things right now is, where is the price at relative to 59,600? Still down below it? Well, how far down below it? Further down below? Not good. But even if the price is just slightly up above it, that would at least suggest that maybe this downwards bleeding has stopped. But yeah, right now, bears are definitely taking a big old bite out of it. And the same invite for you Bitcoin and crypto traders, because what you'll learn about in this class definitely can and should be used within your trading also. So just as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you. Get signed up. It'll be soon, Thursday, May 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos plus Bitcoin are concerned, if you enjoy these, hit that like button, leave a comment below, even if it's just say hi, tell me what you traded today. If you have a request, would you like for me to do one in maybe tomorrow's video? I'll leave that down below, and I can consider that also. So thanks for watching. Hit that like button, leave a request down below, and go get signed up for that free class.